Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Learning Podcast. In today's episode, we are going to explore the powerful ideas from a very famous book called The One Thing by Gary Keller and Papasan. This book is about focus. It is about how successful people achieve big results by doing one important thing at a time. But in this episode, you will learn two things together. First, you will discover the powerful lessons from this book that can change the way you think about success, productivity, and your goals. And second, while listening to this video, you will improve your English listening skills, learn useful English sentences, and build your confidence step by step. I will speak slowly and clearly using simple English sentences, so don't worry if you don't understand everything at the beginning. Listen carefully. Every time you listen again, your understanding will become better. Now, imagine this. You wake up every morning with many dreams. You want to learn English, you want to build a successful career, you want to improve yourself, you want to achieve many things. But there is one big problem. You have too many things to do. And because everything feels important, you don't know where to start. You work hard, but sometimes you feel like you are moving slowly. The question is, what if the secret of success is not doing more things? What if the secret is doing one important thing better? This is the main idea behind the one thing. So my friends, stay with me until the end, because today we will discover how one simple question can completely change your life. Let's begin. Topic number 1, the power of one thing. The first and most important idea of this book is simple. Successful people focus on one thing. The author says that extraordinary results come from focusing on the most important task. Now, let's understand this clearly. The word focus means giving your full attention to something. When you focus on one thing, your energy becomes stronger. But when you try to do many things at the same time, your energy becomes divided. For example, imagine you have a flashlight. If the light spreads everywhere, it is weak. But if you focus that light into one direction, it becomes powerful. Your attention works the same way. When your mind is focused on one important goal, you can create better results. Let's take an example from English learning. Imagine two students. Student A studies English for 5 hours, but he does everything randomly. He learns vocabulary for 10 minutes, watches random videos, checks social media, studies grammar, then stops. His effort is high, but his focus is low. Now, student B studies only 30 minutes every day, but during those 30 minutes, he focuses on one important activity. Maybe speaking practice. Maybe listening practice, maybe learning useful sentences. After months, student B may improve faster. Why? Because focused effort creates better results. Let me say that again. Small, focused action can create bigger results than large, unfocused action. Now, ask yourself a question. What is the one thing that can improve your English the most? Maybe speaking every day. Maybe listening to English podcasts. Maybe practicing pronunciation. Find that one thing and give it your attention. Because progress does not come from doing everything. Progress comes from doing the right thing consistently. Imagine your goal is like climbing a mountain. Many people try to climb 10 mountains at the same time, but they never reach the top. Successful people choose one mountain. And they keep climbing, step by step, day by day, until they reach the peak. That is the power of one thing. So remember this. You don't need to do everything. You need to do the most important thing. And when you focus on the right thing, your small actions can create extraordinary results. Now, let's move to the next powerful idea from the one thing. Topic number 2, the domino effect. All right, my friends, now let's move to the second powerful idea from the book, The One Thing. This idea is called the domino effect.
This is one of the most interesting concepts in this book. Let me explain it with a simple example. Imagine you have a line of small domino pieces. The first domino is small. The second domino is a little bigger. The third one is bigger than the second, and this continues. Now, if you push the first small domino, it can start a chain reaction. One by one, every domino falls. This teaches us an important lesson. Small actions can create big results. One small decision can create a huge change in your future. This is exactly how success works. Many people look at successful people and think they became successful because they did something big. But usually, success does not happen from one big action. It happens from many small actions, repeated over time. Let me say that again. Success is built by small steps, repeated consistently. Now let's connect this idea with learning English. Imagine you want to speak English fluently.
You may think, I need to study for many hours. I need to learn thousands of words. I need to become perfect first. But this thinking can stop you. Instead, start with one small domino. Maybe learn 5 useful sentences every day. Maybe listen to English for 15 minutes. Maybe speak for 2 minutes in front of a mirror. These small actions look simple, but they create momentum. Momentum means the energy that helps you continue moving forward. After 1 week, you know more sentences. After 1 month, your confidence grows. After 6 months, you can see a big difference. The first small action created a bigger result. That is the domino effect.
Now let's imagine another situation. There is a person named David. David wants to improve his English, but he always feels busy. Every day, he says, I will start tomorrow. One day, he changes his strategy. He doesn't try to study for 3 hours. He starts with only 10 minutes. Every morning, he listens to a short English lesson. Then he repeats some sentences. At first, it feels very small, but after a few months, something changes. He understands more words. He speaks more naturally. He becomes more confident. The small habit became a big transformation. That is the power of starting small. Now, the book teaches us another important question. Instead of asking, what can I do to finish everything? Ask, what is the one small thing I can do that will make everything else easier? This question changes your thinking.
For example, if your goal is to improve English speaking, your one thing may be daily speaking practice. If your goal is to improve vocabulary, your one thing may be learning and using new words every day. If your goal is better listening, your one thing may be listening to English podcasts regularly. Find the first domino. Push that domino and let the results follow. Because many people fail not because they cannot succeed. They fail because they try to push too many dominoes at the same time. They start many things, but they finish nothing. Successful people choose one important action and give it their full attention. So remember, one small action today can create a completely different tomorrow. Your future is created by the small things you repeat every day. Now, my friends, let's move to the next powerful lesson from the one thing. Topic number 3, the focusing question. All right, my friends, now we are going to explore one of the most powerful ideas from the one thing. This idea is called the focusing question. This question is the heart of the entire book. The question is, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? Let me repeat that. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? This simple question helps you find your most important action. Because in life, there are many things you can do, but not everything deserves your time and energy.
Some things are important, some things are just distractions. The focusing question helps you separate the important things from the unnecessary things. Now, let's understand this with a simple example. Imagine you have a big exam coming. You have many things to do. You need to read your notes, you need to practice questions, you need to watch lessons, you need to organize your study plan. Everything feels important. But if you ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do right now that will make everything else easier? Maybe the answer is start with the most difficult chapter.
Because when you finish the hardest part first, the rest becomes easier. That is the power of asking the right question. Now, let's connect this idea with English learning. Many English learners make the same mistake. They try to learn everything at the same time. They study grammar, they memorize vocabulary, they watch movies, they practice pronunciation, they read books. But after many months, they still feel stuck. Why? Because their effort is divided. They never ask, what is the one thing that will improve my English the most? For one learner, the answer may be speaking practice. For another learner, the answer may be listening practice. For another learner, the answer may be building basic vocabulary. The right answer is different for every person, but the question is the same. Find your one thing.
Now imagine a person named Alex. Alex wants to speak English confidently. Every day, Alex watches many English videos. He downloads many courses. He saves many learning apps. But he rarely practices speaking. One day, Alex asks himself, what is the one thing I need to do to improve my speaking? The answer becomes clear. He needs to speak every day. So he starts a simple habit. Every morning, he speaks in English for 5 minutes. He talks about his day, he talks about his plans, he talks about his thoughts. At first, it feels difficult, but after some time, his confidence starts growing. His sentences become smoother, his fear becomes smaller, because he focused on the one activity that created the biggest improvement. That is the focusing question in action. Now, let's think about our daily life. Every morning, we receive many tasks, messages, notifications, small responsibilities, random distractions. And if we don't choose carefully, these small things can take our whole day. But successful people protect their focus. They ask, what is the most important thing I should complete today? Then they give their best energy to that task. Remember this, being busy does not always mean being productive. You can be busy all day and still move nowhere. But when you focus on the right thing, 1 hour of focused work can create amazing results. So my friends, ask yourself today, what is the one thing I can do today that will move me closer to my goal? Not 10 things, not 20 things, just one important thing. Because the right one thing can change everything. Now, let's move forward and discover another important lesson from the one thing.
Topic number 4, the domino effect of success, the power of time blocking. All right, my friends, now let's move to another powerful lesson from the book, The One Thing. This idea is about protecting your most important work, and the method the author teaches is called time blocking. Time blocking means choosing a specific time in your day and reserving that time for your most important task. In simple words, you don't just hope you will find time, you create time. Let me say that again. Successful people don't wait for free time. They make time for what matters most. Many people wake up every day without a clear plan. They check their phone, they reply to messages, they do small tasks, they stay busy. But at the end of the day, they ask themselves, why didn't I make progress? The reason is simple. They gave their best time and energy to small things. They did not protect their most important thing.
Now, let's imagine a simple situation. You have a big glass jar. You have big stones
small stones, and sand. If you put the sand first, the jar becomes full quickly. Then the big stones cannot fit. But if you put the big stones first, the smaller stones and sand can fill the empty spaces. Your day works the same way. The big stones are your important goals. The small stones are normal responsibilities. And the sand is unnecessary distractions. If you start your day with distractions, you may not have space for your dreams. But if you put your most important work first, everything else becomes easier. Now, let's connect this with English learning. Many learners say, I don't have enough time to learn English. But the real question is, did you make time for English? There is a big difference. Imagine you wake up and spend the first 30 minutes scrolling social media. That time is gone. But imagine using those 30 minutes for English listening and speaking practice. After 1 year, that small daily habit can create a huge difference. 30 minutes may feel small, but repeated every day, it becomes powerful. This is time blocking. You choose a time, you choose your one important activity, and you protect that time.
For example, every morning from 7 to 7:30, I practice English. No phone, no distractions, only English. This simple decision tells your brain, this is important. Now, let me share a simple story. There was a student named Mark. Mark wanted to improve his English for his career, but every day he was busy. He worked, he watched videos, he spent time online. Months passed, but his English did not improve. One day, he changed one thing. He created a fixed time every morning for English. Only 20 minutes. He listened, he repeated sentences, he practiced speaking. After a few months, his confidence changed. The difference was not because he suddenly became smarter. The difference was because he protected his one important habit. He created time. That is the lesson. Your goals need a place in your calendar. Your dreams need your attention. Because what you schedule shows what you truly value.
Topic number 5, the power of purpose and priority. All right, my friends, now let's continue our journey through the powerful lessons of the one thing. So far, we have learned that success comes from focusing on one important thing. But now the question is, how do we know what our one thing should be? The answer is, you need a clear purpose and a clear priority. Purpose means knowing why you are doing something. Priority means choosing what matters most. When your purpose is clear, your decisions become easier because you know where you want to go. Let's understand this with a simple example. Imagine you want to travel to a new city. Before starting the journey, you need to know your destination. If you don't know where you are going, you can drive for hours but still get lost. Life is the same. Without a clear purpose, you can work hard but move in the wrong direction. Now, let's connect this idea with English learning. Many people say, I want to learn English, but this is not a clear purpose. The better question is, why do I want to learn English? Maybe you want to get a better job. Maybe you want to communicate with people around the world. Maybe you want to study abroad. Maybe you want to create content in English.
Your reason becomes your motivation. When your reason is strong, you continue even when learning feels difficult because you remember why you started. Now, imagine 2 learners. The first learner studies English because everyone else is learning, but he has no personal reason. After some weeks, he loses motivation. The second learner studies English because he wants to work with international clients. Every day he practices because he knows his goal. Both learners study, but one has a stronger purpose, and purpose creates consistency. Let me say that again. A clear purpose creates powerful action. Now, the book teaches us another important idea. You should not only know your big goal,
you should know your next priority. Your goal may be, I want to speak English fluently. That is a big goal. But your priority today can be, learn and practice 10 useful sentences. Small priorities create big achievements. Success is not built in one day. It is built by completing the right small actions every day. Let's imagine a person named
Sarah wanted to improve her English. She bought many books. She downloaded many apps. She watched many lessons. But she felt overwhelmed. She had too many choices. One day, she stopped and asked, "What is the most important thing I need right now?" She realized her biggest problem was speaking confidence. So she made speaking practice her priority. Every day, she spent 15 minutes speaking. After some time, she became more comfortable. Her vocabulary improved, her confidence improved, because she focused on the right priority. Now, ask yourself, what is my biggest goal? And what is the most important step I can take today? Not tomorrow, not next month, today. Because your future is created by the actions you take now. Remember, purpose gives you direction. Priority gives you focus. And focus turns your dreams into reality. Now, my friends, let's move to another important lesson from the one thing. Topic number 6, the myth of multitasking. All right, my friends, now let's move to another powerful lesson from the book, The One Thing. This idea is about something many people do every day, and that is multitasking. Multitasking means trying to do many things at the same time. For example, watching a video while replying to messages, studying while checking social media, working while thinking about many other tasks. Many people believe multitasking helps them become more productive, but the truth is different. When you try to do many things at once, your attention becomes divided. Your brain cannot give full energy to every task, and when your focus becomes weaker, your results also become weaker. Let me say that again. Doing many things at the same time does not always mean doing more. Sometimes it means doing everything with less quality. Now, imagine a person using a phone. They open one app. Then another notification comes. They switch to another app. Then another message arrives. After 1 hour, they were busy the whole time. But what did they really complete? Maybe nothing important. This is the hidden problem of multitasking. You feel busy, but you are not moving forward. Now, let's connect this idea with learning English. Many English learners do this mistake. They start learning vocabulary. After 5 minutes, they switch to grammar. Then they watch a movie. Then they check social media. Then they listen to a podcast. They are doing many activities, but they are not giving enough attention to one skill. A better way is to focus on one activity. For example, today I will only practice speaking. Tomorrow I will focus on listening. Another day I will review vocabulary. One focused session can create better progress. Now let's imagine a student named Daniel. Daniel wanted to improve his English. Every day he studied many things. He used 10 different apps, he watched many videos, he collected many resources. But after 6 months, he still felt stuck. One day, he changed his approach. He stopped trying to learn everything. He chose one main goal: improve speaking confidence. Every day, he practiced speaking for 20 minutes. He recorded his voice, he repeated sentences, he corrected his mistakes. Slowly, his confidence grew. The difference was not more effort. The difference was better focus. That is the power of doing one thing at a time. Now, think about your own life. How many times do you start something important but get distracted? How many times do you give your attention to things that are not helping your future?
The one thing teaches us, protect your focus, because your focus is your most valuable resource. Where your attention goes, your results grow. If you put your attention on learning, you will learn. If you put your attention on distractions, distractions will grow. So ask yourself, what is the one important task that deserves my full attention today? Choose that task, remove distractions, and give your best energy to it.
Topic number 7, the power of habit. All right, my friends, now let's move to another important lesson from the one thing. This lesson is about building powerful habits. Success does not come from one big action. It comes from small actions repeated every day. A habit is something you do regularly without thinking too much. For example, brushing your teeth is a habit. Checking your phone can also become a habit. The question is, are your habits helping your future or hurting your future? Now, let's connect this idea with English learning. Many people want to speak English fluently, but they only practice when they feel motivated. The problem is, motivation does not always stay. Some days you feel excited, some days you feel tired. That is why habits are more powerful than motivation. Imagine 2 learners. One learner studies English for 5 hours one day, then stops for a week. Another learner studies only 20 minutes every day. After some months, the second learner will usually make better progress. Why?
Because consistency creates results. Small actions become big achievements. Now ask yourself, what is one small English habit I can build every day? Maybe listen to English for 15 minutes. Learn 5 new sentences. Speak for 5 minutes. These small habits can become your success system. Remember, you don't need a perfect day. You need a consistent habit. One small action repeated every day can change your future. Now let's move to the next lesson from the one thing.
Topic number 9, the power of purposeful goals. All right, my friends, now let's move to another important lesson from the one thing. This lesson is about setting the right goals. Many people have goals, but the problem is their goals are not clear. A weak goal says, I want to be successful. But a powerful goal says, I want to improve my English speaking skills by practicing every day for 30 minutes. The more specific your goal is, the easier it becomes to take action. The author explains that big success starts with a clear direction. You need to know where you want to go. Because if you don't know your destination, you cannot choose the right path. Now, let's connect this idea with English learning. Imagine someone says, I want to learn English. This is a good goal, but it is not clear enough. A better goal would be, I want to speak English confidently in conversations within 1 year. Now your brain knows what you are working toward. Then you can create small steps. Practice speaking, improve vocabulary, listen every day. Small steps create progress. Let me give you an example. Imagine a person named John. John wanted to improve his English, but every day he only thought, I need to learn English. He had no plan. After months, he felt no improvement. Then he changed his goal. He decided, every morning I will practice English speaking for 20 minutes. Now he had a clear target.
Slowly, his confidence improved. Because a clear goal creates clear action. Remember, a dream without a plan stays a dream. But a clear goal with consistent action can become reality. So ask yourself, what is my one important goal? And what is the small action I can take today? Because your future is built by the decisions you make every day. Now let's continue with another powerful lesson from the one thing. Topic number 9, the path to extraordinary results. All right, my friends, now let's move to another powerful lesson from the one thing. This lesson is about how ordinary actions can create extraordinary results.
Many people think successful people are different because they have special talent or special opportunities, but the book explains something different. Extraordinary results come from doing ordinary things in an extraordinary way. And that way is focus plus consistency plus time. When you choose one important thing and continue working on it for a long time, your results start growing. Now, imagine a tree. A tree does not become big in one day. It grows little by little. Every day, the roots become stronger. Every day, it moves closer to becoming a big tree. Success works the same way. Small progress every day creates a big change over time. Now, let's connect this with English learning. Many learners want fast results. They want to speak fluently in a few weeks. But language learning is a process. You improve by collecting small wins. One new word, one new sentence, one conversation, one listening practice. These small improvements create a big transformation. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people start learning English. Person A studies randomly whenever he has time. Person B follows a simple system. Every day, 20 minutes listening, 10 minutes speaking, review old vocabulary. After 1 year, person B will likely improve much more, not because he studied harder every single day,
But because he stayed consistent. That is the secret. Consistency beats intensity. Now, the book teaches another important idea. You should not only think about today, you should think about where your daily actions are taking you. Every small action is creating your future. The question is my daily action taking me closer to my goal? If yes, continue. If no, change your direction. Remember, big success is not created by one big moment. It is created by thousands of small, focused moments. So choose your one thing, give it your attention, give it your time, and let your small actions create extraordinary results.
All right, my friends, now we have reached the final part of our journey through the book, The One Thing. Before we finish, let's quickly remember all the powerful lessons we learned today. First, we learned about the power of one thing. Success does not come from trying to do everything. It comes from focusing on the one important thing that creates the biggest result. Second, we learned about the domino effect. Small actions repeated every day can create massive results over time. A small step today can become a big achievement in the future. Third, we learned about the focusing question. Always ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? This question helps you find your highest priority. Fourth, we learned about time blocking. Successful people don't wait for free time. They create time for their most important goals. Fifth, we learned about purpose and priority. A clear purpose gives you direction. A clear priority helps you take the right action. Sixth, we learned about the myth of multitasking. Doing many things at the same time does not always create better results. Focused work creates better results.
Seventh, we learned about the 4 thieves of productivity. Saying yes to everything, poor habits, fear of chaos, and a bad environment can steal your progress. Eighth, we learned about powerful habits. Small habits repeated consistently can completely change your future. Ninth, we learned about purposeful goals. A clear goal creates a clear path. And finally, we learned about finding your one thing. The key to success is not doing more. It is doing what matters most. Now, my friends, think about your own life. What is the one thing you need to focus on? Maybe it is learning English. Maybe it is building a new skill. Maybe it is improving yourself. Whatever it is, start small, stay consistent, and keep moving forward. Remember this, you don't need to chase everything. You need to find the one thing that truly matters. Focus on it. Give it your time. Give it your energy. And let that one thing change your life.
thank you so much for watching this episode of English Learning Podcast. I hope this book summary helped you learn something valuable and also improved your English listening skills. If you enjoyed this video, keep practicing, keep learning, and never stop improving yourself. See you in the next episode with another powerful book summary. Keep learning, keep growing.